am Jason Whitlock. That is Marcellus Wiley. That dude.
Nice suit.
All right, welcome to Speak for Yourself, the most fearless show in sports. Coming up, we'll tell you if the Lakers' latest hiring will actually make any difference. But we start today with Steph Curry.
On the shot, boy.
The best thing about adversity is it creates opportunity. Opportunity for greatness. Steph Curry has that opportunity tonight when the Warriors take on the Raptors in Game 3. He can elevate himself into the same stratosphere as the basketball immortals. You might think he's already there. He's won 2 regular season MVP awards. He's a 3-time NBA champion. His resume says he's an immortal already. But there are levels to immortality.
Great.
And right now, Steph isn't on the same level as the all-time greats because he doesn't have his signature NBA Finals moment. You have to dance on the biggest stage to sit at the table with the biggest stars. I'm not talking about being named Finals MVP. I'm talking about delivering during the NBA Finals when everything is stacked against you. I'm talking about a magical performance that makes sports fans believe you can turn Gatorade into wine. Game 6, 1980 NBA Finals. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is out with a severe ankle injury. 20-year-old Magic Johnson started at center, played all 5 positions, scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and handed out 7 assists. The greatest game played in NBA history. Game 5, 1997 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan has a stomach virus and flu-like symptoms. The series with the Jazz is tied 2-2. Jordan plays 44 minutes, scores 38 points. Game 6, 1988 NBA Finals. Early third quarter, Isaiah Thomas badly twists his ankle. He scores 25 points in the third quarter and 43 points for the game. The Pistons lost the game and eventually the series, but all anyone remembers is Zeke's courage. The 2016 NBA Finals. The Cavaliers trail 3-1. LeBron James scores 41 points in Game 5 and 6 and puts up a triple-double in Game 7 to win the series. That's what the all-time greats do. Tonight, the Golden State Warriors will play without Kevin Durant. If Klay Thompson plays, he'll be limited with a strained left hamstring. Andre Iguodala is running on fumes and milk of the poppy. Toronto is likely going to run its box-and-one defense designed to stop Steph Curry. The ingredients are in place for a historic night for Steph Curry. Adversity has created an opportunity. Does he need to have a big game to justify his superstardom? No, absolutely not. He's awesome. He changed the way basketball is played. But I spent this morning researching the greatest games in NBA Finals history, and it's a who's who of the greatest players in NBA history. It's Magic, Michael, Isaiah, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Kareem, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Shaq, Kobe, Hakeem. The guys who carried the league carried their teams in the NBA Finals. They put exclamation points on their greatness by performing magic on the biggest stage. With Durant likely to return for Game 4, this might be Steph's last best chance to do what the all-time greats always do. They use adversity to elevate themselves. All right, joining the desk now are Fox Sports NBA analyst Jim Jackson and Bleacher Report's Ric Bucher. Marcellus, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Does Steph need a signature finals moment to be an all-time great?
Boy, you been hanging with the millennials, huh? For real. Oh, Whitlock, rich. Like, I mean, all-time great. All these subcategories, man. No, he doesn't need a signature moment to validate who he is. Because who he is who he is and who he's going to be in terms of the consensus about his legacy. He is a future Hall of Famer, which in the NBA, I think some people sneeze at, but which is still amazing. But beyond that, while still dribbling the basketball, has been deemed the best shooter of all time. Breathe, y'all. Understand what that is in terms of an accolade, in terms of respect of all the people who've ever played the game. You are the best shooter of all time. Let's not get greedy now. Let's not try and go any farther. Let's not try to get into that tier 1, the GOAT conversation, because the way I look at athletics is simple. It's either you're a Hall of Famer, or you're top 10, or you're the GOAT. All the rest of these categories are for barbershops. That's my point. So tonight
he can get in.
Hell no. Kobe Bryant, some people say, is Friends top 10. Some people say he should be in the GOAT conversation. But if you're saying he's going to surpass a Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson.
No, he's not Magic.
Tim Duncan. Well, who are you taking out of the consensus top 10 to put Steph Curry in there? By that point, there's nothing he can do tonight to elevate and enhance his legacy.
This is the superpower of Steph Curry, is that he knows exactly who he is. And he knows he's not Kobe. He knows he's not Michael. He knows he's not LeBron. And his entire focus
You're sure
has
of
been,
that?
yes. It's why we had this conversation the other day. You thought that he wanted KD out so that he could prove himself.
I haven't said that, but go ahead.
I thought you made that point.
I think most great people are delusional about who they are. And I think that's a part of greatness.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the exception in terms of understanding exactly. That's what makes him great. This Warriors collectively, it's what makes them great because they understand that they need each other. Draymond knows that not playing with Klay and Steph, he wouldn't be the same player. Klay knows the same. The one guy, the outlier, is KD. KD's the one guy who says, it's nice that I get to play with you, but I don't know that I need you. Steph and the rest believe that. And so he could have a moment, and it still wouldn't put him in that
Based off
circle.
that, I want to frame this up a little different for you, Jim, just a little bit. So Rick is arguing to me that Steph Curry's not sitting there going, oh, man, I got a chance to just act a fool tonight and put on a performance that no one believes. I got nothing to lose. The same way I believe Magic before that Game 6 in 19, Kareem's out, I get the clown. And I'm going to put my name permanently on this game. Steph's not thinking that way going into tonight?
I believe Steph is thinking, first of all, let's back up. Steph is playing with house money because the guys that you mentioned in your Whitlock, all those guys had expectations coming out of either high school, college, or went straight to the league. But they were expected for greatness. Steph wasn't.
Right.
So he's playing with house money. Everything he's done up to this point has kind of elevated who he is as a player. He's changed the dynamics of how we all play the game, whether that's NBA, internationally, whether that's AAU, high school. Steph's imprint is on that. So his greatness is always going to be, I think, highlighted when you talk about basketball. Can he step into the top echelon? Does he think that tonight, okay, I got to go out there and this is a signature moment for me? No. I think Steph thinks I need to do whatever I need to do to win the game and let the rest speak for itself. Because the challenge he's going to have tonight, depending on what happens with Klay, it's not going to be an easy task.
No,
it's not
impossible.
But that's what makes it great. Because as a player, I think a lot of times if you go out there and try to say, well, I'm about to go get 30, a lot of times it don't happen. It don't happen because it's a tougher ask when you have to press the button a little bit. I think when he plays like he plays and allow his game to be who he is, the rest gonna speak for itself.
So y'all all are arguing to me is that he's different mentally than all the other all-time greats. Because I know what Kobe would be thinking tonight in the same.
Different person.
I know what Michael would be thinking.
Different person.
I know what Magic.
In your own example, Magic Johnson, rookie, comes out there, realizes Kareem down. Oh, he didn't even know about the veteran presence of being an NBA player. He just went for broke and balled out. Steph Curry, because of his veteran presence, understands it's a collective effort. He has gotten this dynasty by looking at it as a collective. So what will he do tonight? He will assess it properly. He does a different calculus than you would do in your rookie season of Magic Johnson. And he's not delusional to his greatness, which is unique, which is why their culture is unique, is why they can bring in a superstar player who's better than their own superstar player and still not be fragmented.
And off of this, those other players, too, were built a little bit differently, size, physique-wise. They can take over a game. Steph is not built like that. If Michael wanted to control the narrative, he can get to the post. He can get to the low post, high post, wing. LeBron, the same thing. Kobe, Tim Duncan. Steph, being a perimeter smaller player, I went back to the game when they played the second year against Cleveland, okay? It was Amon Shumpert and J.R. Smith. They can be more physical with Steph away from the ball. They can take him out of situations. It was things against LeBron or against Kobe, against Mike, against Shaq, you just weren't going to take away. With Steph, because of his stature, there are things defensively that you can take away.
He has physical limitations, unlike the other guys that we mentioned. The beauty of it is he knows it. And while he has the ego to say, I can knock down that shot. You want me to go win the game? I'll try to win the game. But he also has the humility to say, if it's not my turn, if I'm going to be a decoy, if I'm going to draw everybody away and I'm going to let Draymond run things, I'm going to let Quinn Cook hit shots, he's willing to allow that to happen. Those other guys that you mentioned, they only knew one way to do it, which was it's got to come through me.
And to that point, Steph, in his own words, in response to the praise, the respect that came from Andre Iguodala saying, I'm playing for your legacy, Steph says, I don't even need praise and validation. People know who I am, especially these last 5 years. I have cemented who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. Everyone else you named, that would have irked them. That would have ticked them. That would have made them say, oh, I'm going to go above my head in next game. I'm going to show you. Yeah. That's not Steph.
He's an alien. Jason, I understand why you're confused because he has all the trappings. He has all the trappings of being a superstar. But he understands that he's not, he knows to his core, I'm not these guys.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. And I get their culture and I get where he comes from and his approach and what has worked. But my thesis is based on adversity creates opportunities.
Sure.
So tonight he's in a rare situation where it's likely Klay won't play, and if he does, he'll be very limited. KD's not going to play. The only way they win, in my view, tonight is if we see 40, if we see a Jordan-like flu game, if we see, again, Isaiah Thomas didn't have the physical gifts, but he got put into a position like, oh, there's only one way to get it done, and I'm about to drag this ankle and try to do it. And that's what brings out greatness. There are rare opportunities. This may be his last chance, and I think he will cape up tonight because it's the right thing to do.
But the situations and circumstances are so different. When Jordan had the flu, Pippen and Rob, they were still out there playing, okay? He didn't have his ace on the wing gone. When Isaiah was there, he still had a full complement of his team. Yeah, he was able to go out there and take over, but the defense wasn't solely focused on Isaiah where they can take him away.
But, Jim, I'm going to go with your point.
Right.
He's playing with house money, and they've given him even more house money tonight. If Steph goes 10 or 40 tonight, no one cares. He died on his sword, didn't have anybody. He did the best that he could. But if he goes 20 or 40,